do, but I just wanted to make history on um, doing things different out of the traditional norms. So, like living in a different country was a big change in my life. Um, it shows me that it make me grow as more of a mature person. At that time, and on in 2014, um, I you know wasn't sure what I really want to do far as career wise, because I used to be a sport management major, and like after my first year of teaching at a public school is like I got to do something better than what I'm doing right now because I was a substitute teacher. So yeah, and I was thinking like in the summer, like substitute teachers don't get paid when they are working. So I was like, oh, maybe I should teach, in a different country. So I went to Costa Rica, which was my first country that I went to, and I actually love Costa Rica a lot. I joined a TEFL program called Costa Rica TEFL. Did it for a month. Great times. Met a lot of people there. During the time, it was the FIFA tournament in I think it was in Brazil. Yeah, and it was really good. So like after I obtained my TEFL certification, I worked in a different city called Heredia, which is like one of the main cities in Costa Rica. I did that for like 3 months and then went back to the United States and ended up being in China. And living in a different country for me changed my whole perspective in life, not just who I am, but just, culture and the values and the norms about different ethnicities, and I've met a lot of people from around the world, and it changed everything. And just culture is very important. I believe, like languages is cool to learn, and it shows that it builds my character on understanding people, being more sympathetic towards people, and see things in a global perspective because the world, goes around, and it was just a huge culture shock on in living in a different country. So every place I go or lived or travel, it's very it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing um, to me and probably to a lot of people who have living as an expat from around the world. Um, some of the things that I miss about in the United States is yes, family, friends, a home cooked meal. I remember the last time I had Thanksgiving was, well, 2014, before I went to China, and it was over my father's house. And I missed the deep fried turkey. I missed the collard greens. I missed the corn on the cob, the candy yams, the baked macaroni and cheese. I missed all of that. Like the other day, my school had like a Thanksgiving turkey, but it was not like it was at home. I was grateful. I gave my thanks and told everybody happy Thanksgiving, even though that in China they don't celebrate Thanksgiving, which is crazy because it's just I realize this is just a an American holiday. What else do I miss? I miss the fast food restaurants, in United States like Chipotle, um, McDonald's breakfast. It's very different from what it is in China. Um, I miss Subway. Well, we have Subway in China, but it's very different because in America they have different types of cheese, whereas in China they only have they only have one set of cheese. I miss the diversity, of students that I used to teach. I've missed driving. I haven't driven a car since 2019. So if I ever do come back to the United States, um, I'll probably forget how to drive. I still have my driver's license, thank goodness. Um, yeah, what else do I miss? I miss, American football, watching it on Sundays because it's very different because of the time zone. So if it's 1 o'clock in United States, that means it's 1 a.m. in Beijing time. And it's like, oh, I don't want to stay up because I have to go to work the next day. And yeah, and I just missing times of watching different types of TV shows with family and friends, going out to bars and clubs. And I don't know what it's like now back in the United States of, the club culture, bar life, the nightlife. I know there's still things to do in the United States compared to living in China. So yeah, that's the part that I miss. Even the air, the atmosphere, just breathe fresh air all the time and seeing clouds and stars. Because living here in China, like, you have pollution, but not all the time. But you still can see a little bit of stars, and the moon and the sun. Um, what can you do as an expat? You can, you know, travel. You can build opportunities like having a small business. You can network on meeting people from around the world so you can have connections on doing what you want to do in your life. Also, you can, find love, being happy, being grateful, um, having a different career path. You don't have to be super stressed out, on life and working and, um, save your money, as an expat. What else? You can try different things, new things, learning different cultures because there's a lot of ethnicities living as an expat. Um, I believe um, that you can learn different languages and learn different people's perspective, on their worldview. As an expat, you can, you know, change your money from one country to another. That's awesome on the things that you can do. Um, what opportunities that you already have as an expat? For me, I had an opportunity to make my own candles. It's Serenity Candles. I started making candles um, as a business last year in 2023, in March. Having a small business has its ups and downs, and it's life learning because you grow more on learning things. Because with me, I love to learn more. I love to learn every day. Like I read books. I learn from other people. It doesn't matter what language they speak. I'm still learning. That's part of like you in life. You create and you grow. That's very that's a very important value. What else? Oh, also I have a small home bar, which is called the Village, where it's like a pregame bar where people come and enjoy, their time with drinks, affordable drinks, because I know drinks at these bars in China can be a little bit expensive. I know in America is crazy expensive on just buying one cocktail, which is unbelievable. And I believe the reason is because of the rent. But anyhow, yeah. So my home bar is very is suitable for all cultures, just to meet people. They also can use the venue to have birthday parties, um, to have different types of events that they like. So it's more of a private home bar, but it's still open to people if they want to come and bring their friends. That's an opportunity. Another opportunity is having going to different events. Like you can go to an expo event where they have cars or jobs or even real estate. Real estate is very cool because I was, at a real estate expo almost a year ago, and they had a lot of houses that are available in Thailand, Japan, um, Qatar, Dubai, Hong Kong, Macau, different places, and they're reasonable prices. Some are expensive because they're trying to sell condos, which the condos are like somewhat small, and just met a lot of real estate agents there, which is a cool thing. What else can you do as an expat? You can even have stocks and bonds. Like I know a person who does financial advisor, and like he helps people to build up not just equity but stocks and bonds. So like whenever you want to retire, living as an expat, like you can easily invest in stocks and bonds, and you can live your life comfortably, especially like in Southeast Asia where it's very warm. The weather is nice, the people are friendly, the food is very authentic. Um, what are some of the problems that you face as an expat? For me, when I first came to China, even in Costa Rica, is just the language barrier. Like the language is very different because I'm not fluent in Spanish or in Chinese, so I have no idea what they're saying to me, especially just entering to a brand new country. What else is the problem? Um, Missing family, like is a sacrifice when you're living as an expat or even traveling for a few months. You miss family because family is very important. I believe missing out on your friends also is important. Like just seeing them in person, that makes you feel comfortable seeing, but you don't see them often. If you living as an expat, I'm talking about hometown friends, not just friends that you meet from different countries, but um, just friends that you know for years and years, like your hometown friends or your childhood friends. What else? A little bit of dating life. For me as a man, like if I want to meet a local Chinese or a local Thai or Japanese girl, they might not speak English, or they might speak a little bit of Thai or their language. They have a little trouble speaking, your language. But however, like you still can use, body language and try to understand. There's, translators on your phone, so it could be difficult, but you can overcome it. And if you like the person genuinely, then go for it. What other problems you face? Just the finding things is kind of hard as well, and open up like bank accounts and stuff. You just have to be patient, because I know in the United States, like we want our stuff to be done quickly and have good customer service, but here is very different. It's just you just have to be patient because sometimes the business could be a little bit slow, or it might be a whole bunch of people lining up, especially in China where it's a billion people. So if you go to like a bank, you know, you as a foreigner, it's very kind of crazy because you might be the only one there, but the process of like, putting in money, taking out money, transferring money from one country to another, it might take you like almost a whole hour, because of their process is very slow and they document things a lot. Everything has to be stamped in red, and their boss is like looking over the teller. Um, what else could be a problem? Traffic, in Southeast Asia countries or in east of East Asian countries, where if you try to get a taxi, it could be a little bit difficult because of the traffic. It's always be a traffic jam during rush hour. Also, even try to drive in different countries, can be challenging, because, for instance, in America, we drive on the right hand side, but in different countries, you drive on the left hand side. And for me, my experience of that when I was living in Thailand and driving, it could be crazy because when it's red, we could easily turn right, but um, driving, turning red, you can make a left when you're in Thailand, which is or in even in Hong Kong. So it's very it's crazy. That could be like a problem. What else? Problems that I can face. Just buying airplane tickets. Sometimes it could be expensive, especially during the holidays in China, where it's Chinese New Year and national holiday, for example, where you can you know, you go to C Trip. That's what we use instead of Expedia.com or the other websites that us Americans use, which they double the price just to fly to a different country because they know like the third parties can get like a lot of money because a lot of local Chinese people, local people from different countries can, travel during the holidays. So they always spike up the prices. And to me, that could be a little difficult. So like people try to like book their tickets early, but however, it'd be sold out. Even fast trains, if you want to go to a different city in China. I didn't mention the cool thing that in China you have high speed trains that goes really really fast. I wish we had that in America, but obviously we don't. Um, what advice that you could give people who want to live in a different country? My advice is just to be patient. Um, the reason why I say patient because, as I mentioned before, the language barrier. Um, it could overtake just it, the things that you see could be overwhelming, like crossing the street. For instance, I knew a person who, was afraid of crossing the street because cars just comes and goes crazy, super fast. Sometimes they don't know like where they're going, so that could be very, you know, you just have to be aware, especially when I was traveling to Vietnam. Like they do not stop for pedestrians whatsoever. They just trying to get from one place to another. Also just watch out for scammers. There are people who scam you for your money. Like, if you want to take a taxi, sometime because they know that you're a foreigner, so they just trying to um, take all your majority of your money or probably all your money because you don't know like the currency quickly, and also you don't know, the language. So like for me, like you just download taxi apps like in China they have Didi, you know, whereas in America they have Uber. So like download like some of the apps that are more safe and reliable because like that's very important. Another advice is have toiletries, like pack up your toiletries because um, you don't know where the supermarkets and stuff at, and because you don't know where things are in China or just anywhere in stores. So like having a lot of toiletries is very important. Like deodorant for ladies, feminine products for body wash, toothbrush, toothpaste, just have some stuff for you to save money, when you start, getting paid if you do work in China or even if you're traveling. You don't want to buy like a lot of things while you're traveling. Another thing, advice that I want to give out is have a SIM card. A SIM card is very important because with me, like my experience, like when I went to Japan, like I did not have a SIM card whatsoever. So I had to go to like different fast food restaurants like McDonald's or Starbucks just to get internet and asking for directions. I think a SIM card is a huge factor on when you're traveling or even living in a different country for a month because when you live in a different country, obviously you're either a student or you work. So like people at your job or people at your university will help you get like a bank card or a cell phone number with a SIM card as well. And also bring your phone. That's very important. Have your phone unlocked because my experience when I first came to China is my cell phone was locked through AT&T, so it's very hard to unlock it. So I had to like buy a brand new phone just because I couldn't use my other phone. So that's very important. Another thing is prepare for the weather. So before you travel to that country that you want to live or where you want to travel. So like just look at your weather app to see what's the temperature throughout the whole week. From my experience when I went to Thailand for graduate school, when I first went there, I didn't know that it was going to be super hot. So I had all my winter clothes packed and ready. And like it was very, very hot. So I wore like all my winter clothes in the hot wave, in Thailand. So just be prepared. Also be prepared, mentally. That's very important because culture shock is going to hit you very hard. I mean, very, very hard. So just prepare on those things. Another thing is don't have a lot of high expectations. Don't think that like you're going to, live super duper comfortably or being super privileged. Just, be humble, be grateful, because, you know, people can use you or take you for granted and treat you badly. So just respect people. Just be positive. Um, don't try to complain a lot. Um, and just be yourself. Like you don't have to be fake towards people, just be your authentic self. That's very important. um that's it for this episode. Follow us on Bilibili, Little Red Book, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook community, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. um Little Red Book is The Village. Instagram, follow me at shatter_dreams. Follow Melody at MJ .in.sh. And also my personal Instagram is shattered_dreams. The Facebook community, just follow us at The Village Podcast. Bilibili is the Village. And Spotify and Apple, just The Village. Um, Bye.